Hey guys, welcome back to another What If It. Today we're doing part 9 to What If Naruto was born with a kitsune genkai. If you know what happened in the last part, that'll be linked in the description down below to take you to a playlist where you can watch all the previous parts in order. Now then, we'll be jumping straight into What If. So, a year would go by from where we last left off, so that would be 2 years and 6 months. The same somewhat kind of month, or the same time frame of when canon Naruto had returned with Jiraiya. Yeah. And while of course she would be returning, whilst Naruto would be returning with Jiraiya, Naruto would be returning from a mission. Though the mission wasn't really nothing kind of special or anything like that. Though she had somewhat gained a fifth tail during somewhat the year of training, and of course somewhat her speed was 3 times, somewhat her speed and strength for 3 times that of her fourth tail, and she got somewhat now so fast that she actually had to train herself to be used to the 3 times speed, and well, the strength was kind of obvious. She'd had to somewhat constantly kind of train her somewhat subconscious, unconscious, and herself that, you know, depending on her tail depended on her somewhat strength, and that, you know, saw maybe somewhat one person, you know, say somewhat, you know, in one tail she could say maybe just block a punch, and then somewhat another tail she could somewhat, you know, throw the person across the cone at her. Yeah. Though somewhat the speed though was because the first time she had to train herself in her speed to be somewhat used to it, as she'd somewhat had gotten fast that her brain couldn't really keep up with somewhat the processing of light, or more so, she was now at somewhat a speed where her somewhat vision actually started to expand. Pretty much the faster you went, the somewhat wider your field of view got, because somewhat the angle of light that could somewhat actually go into your, well, not into your eye, but actually be processed, so actually hit nerves on your eye was now greater. Somewhat, and of course due to some of that, it's seemingly influx of light, somewhat her vision ended up narrowing, pretty much tunnel vision, instead to just be able to somewhat stay balanced at the speed and attack. Only somewhat she could run at say 1.5 or 1.5 times her somewhat times the fourth tail state. She wouldn't get tunnel vision above 1.5 times she did in her speed, so it took her a cool around about 2 to 3 months for her to actually be able to use her full speed. But yeah, it pretty much told her that from this point onwards she's gonna have to train. Every tail she gets, she's gonna have to train in her speed now. And yeah, that also because somewhat though somewhat she also had noticed just in her because somewhat base form that when Tsunade would go to throw a punch would seem slow, like just time slowed down or it stopped. He of course wouldn't have none of its tails out, it wouldn't be in the kitsune state, but time just seemed to slow down. And of course somewhat he realised that due to the fact that he's, you know, somewhat used to now moving so fast that somewhat once say an object got too close for somewhat say comfort, time would start to slow down, or his somewhat brain would start speeding up in processing some of the images or somewhat data information coming from the eyes. and this time seemed to somewhat slow down. And yeah, though it was somewhat, because somewhat odd, somewhat just seeing an object and somewhat coming near you, and like you go to move your arm, but like it seems to like move very little. So yeah, something like that. He also had to get very good at channeling somewhat chakra to somewhat hands and body to be able to somewhat catch said somewhat very fast moving objects. Though anyway, yeah. Another fifth tail was also somewhat the tail in which allowed her to break the sound barrier casually at a 2x speed increase. So somewhat 2/3 of her overall max speed in somewhat a fifth tail allowed her to break the sound barrier. So yeah, she can move very damn fast, especially when sending chakra. Anyway, so yeah, her somewhat ability was the ability to create somewhat realistic genjutsu. So think of somewhat the one episode in, I think it was Naruto, or was it Naruto Shippuden? It's the episode where somewhat we somewhat I think meet Kunai's first actual ever somewhat student from the Kurama clan. Somewhat the gal from the Arist of the Kurama clan had somewhat like demon from like her own kind of somewhat Geki Genkai, and her Geki Genkai allowed her to actually make somewhat genjutsu actually affect real life, the physical world. She could somewhat obviously paint a fire. I think somewhat we see like somewhat paint a lightning strike, and it struck the tower where she painted. And yeah, of course, Naruto broke in and somewhat broke into our somewhat Naruto did his thing. Naruto did Naruto things, and yeah, ended up all working out. Anyway, so yeah, think of that, but Naruto's somewhat genjutsu granted by the fifth tail can't affect somewhat the physical world. It's just so damn realistic that it's very, very hard. And the best thing about it, somewhat dojutsu, somewhat like the Byakugan and Sharingan, cannot see through it. And yeah, and somewhat anyway, though, so that's somewhat the powers of a fifth tail. And yeah, though somewhat Naruto would end up, somewhat of course go to the Kekkai Towers. You'd somewhat walk right into Naruto, would look up and go, somewhat Naruto, how was somewhat the mission? He was like, and go, well, it was okay. Somewhat Bachan, somewhat nice and kind of somewhat relaxed and kind of. It was nice and somewhat relaxing to just somewhat watch as the world goes by. So they were just nodding and go, well, I'm even surprised you somewhat knew how to somewhat you could actually transform yourself into a somewhat mannequin in the first place too. Somewhat that is an odd thing to learn, to somewhat learn how to transform yourself into, as Nat would somewhat chuck and go, well, yeah, it's somewhat I had initially somewhat planned it out, or at least learnt it for somewhat a prank, though of course somewhat it ended up failing before I somewhat could even enact it. It's like, and what is the idea that would require you to transform yourself into a mannequin? While somewhat, wouldn't it be scary to have just somewhat, say you go in and have a mannequin just somewhat start following you around, walking by itself? Like, you can put it into, somewhere else, and then next thing you know, it's kind of walking to you once more. So I'd go, somewhat I see, and somewhat, well, it's like Naruto going, you can presume why it somewhat failed. After all, mannequins don't move, they can't move, and, well, yeah, I somewhat ended up somewhat kind of yeah, learning that, and somewhat it wasn't exactly kind of, well, yeah, somewhat I had just somewhat, big plans for that, but failing through, I had to think of a different plan, a different prank to do. Though, so I would somewhat just nod at that and would go, well then, though somewhat, no, should go, though somewhat, got any messages somewhat from Sasuke recently, somewhat, just the fact that, somewhat, the call for somewhat action will be coming up within the next couple of months, and yeah, that, and somewhat, he may have an inkling to one of my clans, one of the, say, well, clansmen. So I'd go, you mean he's somewhat fan, and Uzumaki, well, more so Orochimaru did, and yes, but yeah, and Sasuke would be, well, yeah, Sasuke'd say that he'd somewhat after somewhat with helping kill Orochimaru and that, somewhat it will kind of take me to where she is, and so I'd go, oh, it's somewhat she is, and that would kind of go somewhat a bit red and go, yeah, though somewhat knowing it's somewhat Sasuke, so she probably had over heels for Sasuke, and she probably won't even bother somewhat liking me. That and heck, I'd somewhat, well, yeah, but even somewhat like a person who can somewhat shapeshift, one day be a man, the next day be a woman. Though Tsunade would somewhat hum to that, and could slightly somewhat understand the turn off for, yeah, most somewhat women, and just, yeah, though somewhat most Kunoichi, maybe not so much, but yeah, definitely a somewhat turn off for most women. Anyway, so after time somewhat over the somewhat mission reporters, though, so I will go, and somewhat another thing though, so I'd like to somewhat tell you, though it requires 2 other people to be here. After crack an eyebrow and somewhat be curious. I thought he'd been working solo for, well, not quite solo, but most of the time he seems to find himself going somewhat either solo missions or that. And yeah, of course, most somewhat, well, yeah, to the fact he was kind of now kind of definitely high up there on the somewhat A rank, and well, yeah, was somewhat in the actual can't think of it, the bingo book, and yeah, he was in there, and yeah, though of course somewhat not all that many people somewhat knew him, even though he was damn strong. Not many people knew him, and very few of course feared him, though somewhat, though of course somewhat he was using that to his obviously somewhat benefit, as most people would somewhat kind of underestimate him massively, because sure, he may be somewhat high A rank, but that's the thing, that's his current form, his base form. He could easily somewhat enter his kitsune form. Heck, One Tail's somewhat would boost them into somewhat borderline S rank, and to somewhat Zack and Tail would boost her into low somewhat S rank. And yeah, could somewhat quite easily deal with people. And yeah, though somewhat Naruto would be curious, and yes, so Naruto would somewhat call out for Ambu to go fetch the two people. They already know what she's talking about due to the fact she knew the mission duration, because it was a fixed mission duration on arrival. And yeah, somewhat a kind of just somewhat a 1 month. It was a 1 month long mission due to the fact that prior to that Naruto had been somewhat just prior to somewhat 2 missions prior, Naruto had somewhat done seduction, and somewhat had for the somewhat first time, more so kind of Tsunade finally kind of just giving Naruto one, for the somewhat first time allowing Naruto to actually go out as his female self to cause somewhat seduction and have somewhat sex to somewhat do the mission. Anyway, yeah. Then somewhat the mission afterwards that he'd got was a somewhat kill mission and another kill mission on top of that. So then that somewhat when Tsunade had of course seen that, she'd initially thought, well, we have no snow that can transform into somewhat mannequins though, and Ambu had quite simply said, what about asking Naruto? And and while she did to obviously see somewhat Naruto was unpredictable, you never knew what he could and couldn't do. Seriously, somewhat one day, you'd believe, oh yeah, he couldn't do this because somewhat yesterday, yesterday he couldn't, and somewhat, like a week later, or somewhat the next day, you find out he now can, and to do it 1,000 times, or like 1,000 times better than you can. So, yeah. Anyway. Yeah. And so yeah, a couple of seconds later, and Kakashi and Sakura would somewhat arrive, as somewhat, though both Kakashi and Sakura would somewhat kind of look at Naruto, and Naruto would somewhat look both kind of at them, and Sakura and Kakashi would even look at one another, kind of somewhat looking at all three of them looking at one another to go, do you know what's going on now? Yeah, Tsunade now. Yeah, of course, Sakura is still tuning, mainly somewhat due to the fact that she seemed to have spent more and more time in the kind of light of a medic nin, and had started to kind of realise that before long Sakura's going to end up, like soul kind of like life would be medic nin, and she'd seem to somewhat would fail to go out on the missions and would actually need Jonin, or just somewhat more, or just tuning that could fight to somewhat help her, and that. And yeah, sure, she may have somewhat she may have taught Sakura strength, ability to of course increase her own strength. Naruto she didn't need to, because Naruto had perceived it to tell her somewhat how she did. Pretty much it was just chakra, but controlled at such a level that something he couldn't do at the moment, which it just showed his somewhat unconscious, subconscious abilities with chakra is just somewhat just natural understanding, is insane, somewhat instinctual, somewhat understanding of chakra and how to use it. And though somewhat, of course, Naruto's somewhat chakra control was now around about kind kind of low medic nin. He finally entered the low medic nin category. Though, and of course, Tsunade still kind of somewhat put him through, obviously, some of his paces, even with somewhat, she may not be all that fast, though she had been starting to get faster and faster as she started to, of course, as she somewhat fought Naruto with obviously massive speed. She may be strong, but she realised she fell into the same category Sakura. She seemed too focused. She realised that she had pinpoint chakra control, and that could either go into strength or speed, but not both. Naruto, even in his base form, could do both at the exact same time. And yeah, sure, if he somewhat put more focus onto maybe say strength, like, you know, sending, well, molding somewhat chakra properly to some, or at least somewhat transferring chakra properly into the muscles to give like the greatest boosting somewhat strength, then yes, same goes with speed, but somewhat he's somewhat, so he's just doing both at the same time, that the boost would actually not be all that much. So pretty much the greater Naruto's control gets, the faster his somewhat speed and strength amplifies with chakra. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, though so much Tsunade go Sakura Haruno, Kakashi Hatake, Naruto Uzumaki, somewhat I'll hereby be reforming Team 7. Under Kakashi Hatake's somewhat command with Naruto as the second, got that high, somewhat all three would say, as yeah, of course Team 7 had been somewhat pretty much been disbanded since Sasuke kind of left on like the kind of somewhat impromptu long 3-year term mission, but yeah, and well, yeah, apparently, well, he's somewhat, according to obviously some of the reports he got from Sasuke, that somewhat Orochimaru's starting to find it difficult to train Sasuke, or well, to train him, which meant that Orochimaru was, you know, starting to couldn't really teach Sasuke much more because he didn't know much more. So yeah. Anyway, though, yeah, because there was only somewhat one person that knew Naruto knew the High-Rishin. That was obviously Tsunade, because Tsunade gave Naruto the scrolls, and she's also still the only one that knew he could do it. And somewhat there were only 2 people that had, 3 if you include him / her, Naruto, but only 2 people besides from Naruto, him / herself, had the kunai, one being Tsunade herself, and the other being Sasuke. And yeah, though somewhat Naruto was kind of, Naruto had kind of started to go on his own way of making a teleportation, or more so kind of portal based somewhat teleportation jutsu, but that worked without the requirement of Funjutsu. Of course, from a portal based transformation teleportation he'd already done. He'd already done that, because yeah, but he'd already somewhat figured that somewhat out. Short and long distance could just open up somewhat portals and could just walk on through and appear on the other side with somewhat Funjutsu. The somewhat Howl, well, it just mainly used to somewhat it required obviously an actual well, it required just a somewhat actual either sack or something that you could walk under. There'd be somewhat a kind of barrier that, but it'd be a barrier that you could walk through. Though it's somewhat, of course, the barrier is thick enough that when you somewhat entered it, or would be kind of just whatever somewhat colour you decide to have the barrier. So blue, then blue, pink, red, whatever. Yeah, and somewhat you just continue to walk. You just say walk on through, almost seamlessly, though for those who are say used to say teleportation or say could make multiples of themselves using the sunshine, would definitely notice a somewhat there body seemingly stopping momentarily and then continuing forward. So yeah. Anyway, they'd not as somewhat they would kind of though somewhat sacred. Well, yeah, they would somewhat go and they would kind of talk to one another, as the last time somewhat kind of they all kind of just talked as a team was quite some time ago. Yeah, sure, they'd all seen one another, of course, separately, but as a team was probably last was with Sasuke. Or, well, yeah, around about that, or when Naruto actually became a somewhat Jonin, and Sakura really started to take medical ninjutsu training a lot more seriously, and obviously Kakashi took his somewhat training a lot more seriously as well, to the point where Kakashi was now low S rank in abilities. He was back to low S rank, and he's also now somewhat, his somewhat antidepressants, what he was on, was now somewhat lowered a lot more. Was somewhat lowered down to a point where he could casually miss maybe a day without somewhat feeling like all that much depression. Though if he left it more than a day, the depression would slowly build back up, and yeah, he'd slowly start letting his training slip. So yeah, but hey, that was somewhat good. It meant that obviously somewhat he was getting a lot better. Yeah, though they would somewhat leave and they would talk though the talk would end up kind of going up to a spa where Kakashi would tell some of the two of them to work together to beat him. They would just kind of stare at him, and that would go Sensei, I don't want to sound somewhat kind of overconfident or that, but I'm pretty sure I may be able to defeat you by myself. And you'd go, but you can't. Just not go, I can't. What? You can't. Change your form. Not go. So I can't. But I just have to go. Then you can't use your. You can't use the Sharingan. You can actually go. Fine. Yeah. He'd been training without the Sharingan, so yeah, it was fair. Then he would somewhat look to Sakura and said somewhat go for his Kekkai. Well, somewhat they would kind of look at one another. Not as somewhat they'd tell her that she couldn't use her somewhat strength. It's Sakura would go, what? But then how else am I going to somewhat fight against someone used to who are just somewhat strong naturally? It's like, well, they'd both somewhat look at her with somewhat the look of, well, you should have trained your base form as well. Which, yeah, of course, to kind of drop her head as she was never the one to really physically train herself. Kakashi now to have been. And yeah, sure, could somewhat, jump into some kitsune form and get you up to 4, 6, 9. Initially, somewhat 9 times boost. 2, 4, 6, yeah, plus the nut 3 for the 4th tail. And then the other 3 now with the 5th. 12 times increase in strength and speed. Somewhat on a base, so the stronger base, or the strongest base, the stronger some of his, his tail, like, some of his kitsune amplification will be. Yeah. Anyway. Though, of course, somewhat often agreeing that they would only keep it to somewhat really hand-to-hand combat. Somewhat they would, of course, somewhat start sparring. And yeah, of course, somewhat the first thing, somewhat that Kekkai realised was that Naruto was naturally fast, very fast and very strong. Sakura was obviously somewhat providing somewhat backup with, of course, kunai and shuriken. And yeah, Sakura kind of realised that herself, that if she did run out of chakra, she would be dead. Nothing more sad, she'd be dead. She kind of realised that she kind of relied too much on chakra to kind of try and catch up to Naruto and Sasuke. Yet both probably Naruto and Sasuke were still far ahead of her when it came to somewhat. All three of them could have their chakra sealed away, and Naruto and Sasuke could still probably somewhat easily, probably could easily kill her without a second thought. And somewhat, worst thing, that she wasn't like Shikamaru, who could think up with plans. That was more somewhat Naruto's deal. Even more so due to the fact he could somewhat think of plans incredibly fast now. And because obviously the faster he could run, the faster somewhat in his tail, or his kitsune form, because the faster, somewhat he'd went, because the faster his brain had to calculate to move, to be able to somewhat obviously still stay upright and avoid objects and that. Because reaction time increased as well, which meant that in his base form, somewhat like you could somewhat he could stand there and a hit could be coming still like right at him, and he could end up kind of just somewhat tilting his head as like a fist, seemingly like be like millimeters away from his nose. He could like 1 millimeter or even less, and just casually somewhat move his head out of the way as. And anyway, though some of the next day would go by as a bird would end up a tuning would end up busting into the Hokage office going, "Hokage-sama, a message from somewhat sooner." She go, "Huh? What? What was that?" It was like somewhat. The messenger would somewhat switch up as he'd hand Tsunade the squad, as she'd just look at him as he'd somewhat realise and would somewhat quickly leave. She'd open up the scroll and she'd somewhat read through it, and she'd immediately go, "Anbu, get me Team 7 now." And of course the Anbu would immediately do so, kind of somewhat slightly frightened from kind of somewhat Tsunade's tone. Somewhat seconds, a somewhat minute or somewhat minute or so later, Kakashi, Naruto and Sakura would all be there, standing somewhat at attention. Also, Naruto was the master of the Anbu, somewhat went to him, somewhat had told him that he probably should get that quickly. She seemed angry. Yeah. Anyway, though they somewhat stand at attention. I should go. This will be an S rank mission. Your opponents, the Akatsuki. Your objective to get the Kazekage back. That would go somewhat what they somewhat his hands would clench. And yes, Naruto would somewhat put a hand on Naruto and go, remember, Naruto, stay calm. He'd somewhat take a deep breath as he'd somewhat nod as she'd just tell them to to just somewhat get to just go, and she'd give them somewhat the scroll. And yeah, Kekkai should take some of the, of course, mission scroll as they're going to leave, as Kekkai should tell them to obviously get somewhat, if they need anything, to get it and then meet them at the front gates. They would nod, and somewhat 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, Naruto and Kekkai would both be there. 20 minutes later, Sakura would arrive. And yeah, from there they would somewhat leave, and Kekkai could somewhat see Naruto was slowly starting to pull ahead. And yeah, though, somewhat after some time and looking back and not being able to see, Konoha jump up ahead to someone and go, Naruto, stop. Naruto would go, why should we? Naruto, we're far enough away from Konoha. If you want to get there as fast as possible, well, you're going to have to carry the two of us. Naruto would blink and go, oh, right. As you'd somewhat, you'd somewhat just throw down a somewhat smoke bomb as you'd seal away somewhat his clothes, his entire somewhat outfit, as you'd then proceed to shapeshift into his somewhat fox form. And and would somewhat go up to his somewhat two-tailed form, which would be around about 5 foot tall, I think. Yeah, 5 foot. They would somewhat, both Sakura and Kekkai would get on, as Naruto would then somewhat would simply state, just somewhat, hold on, I'm getting bigger. And yeah, of course, 2.5 somewhat at 3 tails was 7.5 foot tall. 4 tails jumped to 10 foot tall, and in 5th tail was 15. It was around about somewhat. Was around about 13, 14 foot tall. And yeah, now to just tell them to hold on. They would somewhat both kind of Kekkai and Chakra somewhat throughout his somewhat lower half, just to kind of stick to Naruto, and he would hold on. Sakura would kind of somewhat do the same, as Naruto would then just burst forward, as somewhat what the somewhat 2 gate guards would hear a minute or so later would be a boom, as Naruto would just break the sound barrier and shoot off forward to Suna. Though a couple of seconds later, Naruto would end up slowing down, which obviously Kekkai would somewhat very much see, and would end up stopping. And yeah, Kekkai would somewhat ask why, as Naruto would state that a couple of somewhat like a 10 or so seconds up ahead was Gaara's sister, Tamari. Kekkai would go, right, she ended up leaving somewhat somewhat around about yesterday mid-morning, right? And yeah, so they would somewhat but yeah, they would somewhat end up walking up, and of course somewhat so you just end up seeing that, a 15-foot tall, somewhat 5-tailed fox. Though of course somewhat pretty much blonde with somewhat with of course a white somewhat underbelly and 5 somewhat tails with their tips white. And yeah, Kekkai would send Joku to his feet as he'd proceed to walk down the side of Naruto and go, Tamari, right. Tamari would look up and go, and you're, Kekkai? It's like, yes. As he'd pat, kind of, Naruto as he'd go, and this is Naruto. You should hop on, we're going to sooner. Should go, what? She'd somewhat seem puzzled as he'd go, well, you'd find out once we get there. I can't exactly explain on the way. She'd go, why? You'll find out once you jump aboard. As somewhat Naruto would, kind of somewhat sit, would, somewhat lay down. She'd kind of look up at Kekkai and somewhat, Kekkai would somewhat nod, and she'd also see somewhat Sakura, someone who she also knew. Kekkai was obviously mainly training in that whenever she was in Konoha, so she didn't really know Team 7 Sensei all that well. So yeah, those somewhat she'd walk up and she'd kind of just somewhat stand there as Naruto would get back up, though Naruto would tell her to sit down and to be prepared for insane speed. She'd somewhat look over to Kekkai as somewhat he'd just go, I'd suggest doing what Naruto says. You may want to also send Chakra to anchor yourself. He goes fast. Tamari would somewhat do that and would somewhat wonder to have just how fast does Naruto boom. And somewhat it'd feel like she just hit a just somewhat brick wall at brick wall at insane speed, though. Yeah, she just kind of somewhat, she just kind of looked to the side and the ground was just she couldn't make out the ground. It was just blurry, somewhat just blurs, just a giant kind of just green field pretty much. As Naruto just shoot through, though before long said green field turned to yellow fields, sand, and yeah, within seemingly a minute Naruto had gotten from Konoha to to Suna. How fast were they going? She was wondering herself. And yeah, though Naruto would somewhat kind of come to a somewhat sliding halt. And yeah, Kekkai should go, what's up, Naruto? Gaara can somewhat smell him, but Tamari would go, what about Gaara? Kekkai should fill her in, and she'd go, let's go after us. Kekkai should go, no. She'd go, what? Why? It's like, somewhat if Naruto can smell Gaara, then somewhat your brother, you need, somewhat, though Tamari, please, somewhat take Sakura, she is, somewhat, pretty much one of Konoha's best medic in him, besides from Tsunade herself. Somewhat take her somewhat to your village and we'll go and get Gaara. And Naruto somewhat would kind of look at her and go, I promise, Tamari, I won't let your brother die. And yeah, somewhat, of course, Tamari would somewhat begrudgingly somewhat nod. And yeah, she'd somewhat jump off as it would somewhat jump off, and so would Sakura as they would then somewhat head towards Suna. Kekkai then somewhat walk up to somewhat the front and yeah, somewhat so he'd now be sitting on Naruto's head as Naruto somewhat stand up as he'd go somewhat get ready, sensei. I'm about to break all known speed records. Kekkai somewhat recheck and go, I'm pretty sure you have, Naruto. As Kekkai would sit down as he'd tap Naruto's head twice, telling Naruto that he was ready. He was prepared, ready, and just, go. And yeah, Naruto just send chakra into his, somewhat giant paws and that, and would just vanish seemingly from, or somewhat, when Tamari and Sakura somewhat had looked, or what they heard, besides from a massive boom, and it's practically had to somewhat run away and send Chakra into their legs as somewhat a massive kind of sand tsunami was going after them. Yeah, that and the ground, it was sand, luckily, but, though somewhat some of the sand underneath that had been forced somewhat so tight together, it came sandstone, and then that sandstone had shattered. So yeah, you'd formed and shattered sandstone in a single kind of just shot forward. And yeah, though somewhat 5 or so, within 2 to 3 seconds, somewhat Naruto slowed down to Kekai's somewhat top speed as he'd go, ready sensei. Yes, Naruto. As somewhat the two seemingly Akatsuki members would somewhat turn around as Kekkai would somewhat jump off of Naruto, and Naruto would somewhat jump up to the air and would somewhat revert back instantly, which would form a puff of smoke, which Naruto would also use to to until all his clothing again. And yeah, from there, somewhat Naruto would somewhat pull out a somewhat hydrogen known, somewhat even with his speed he wouldn't make it to the bird, and where he could somewhat smell Gara scent coming from. So he'd grab a kunai and he'd somewhat throw it. Of course, Kekkai, Kekkai would somewhat kind of see that. Well, we'd see just a Naruto pull out a Chai-Pon kunai before it vanished from his hand, and Kekkai would go wide-eyed as he'd go. He knows how to do that, and yeah. Just as Kekkai would land on the ground and start, somewhat heading forward to the seemingly puppet user, which he could smell, or at least the somewhat seemingly kind of tell, somewhat from seemed to be poisoned, so don't get hit by that. And yeah, you'd somewhat just kind of, you'd see Naruto vanish in a flash of white. Why not yellow? Well, Naruto had somewhat kind of learned and had been able to manipulate it enough to kind of actually have somewhat the light into which it produced when somewhat activation. When activated, instead of it being a somewhat yellow flash, or mainly the colour of somewhat the hair, I'd managed to make it white instead, because why not? White was, white was generally more blinding than somewhat any other really colour. And yeah, though it did also somewhat have another set of kunai that were black, somewhat that had a black flash white, because somewhat if it was night and he had to somewhat use it stealthily, then he could teleport without no fear of somebody waking up to a giant somewhat flash of white light, and just be somewhat black, no light really. Yeah. It just seemingly, well, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Though, yeah, they'd somewhat arrive. Well, yeah. Though somewhat Naruto, of course, sending Chakra into, well, yeah, somewhat, kind of, somewhat thinking, oh, you know, they're somewhat S rank, somewhat, you know, criminals that have to be, or at least somewhat, this person has to be very strong. Sent Chakra into somewhat his fist, hoping to maybe stun him, and would just somewhat whack Deidara as Deidara just vanished. He just shot off his bird and somewhat somewhere. Oh yeah, now to kind of angered it somewhat downward, so a second or so later now just see a plume of just sand shoot up into the air, and well, yeah, kind of the indication of not only did they catch them off guard, but Naruto seemed to have really catch Deidara off guard. Yeah, though Naruto would run forward and would yank the seemingly bird's mouth open, and would grab Gaara and somewhat jump off the bird. And yeah, of course, as he jump off it, flung a kunai. Someone would fling a kunai into the ground, with it impacting on the ground, and in another flash of white light would appear once more on the ground. Appear on the ground. Though Kekkai similarly, somebody realised that, well, yeah, after similarly, somewhat just a single, somewhat chakra enhanced punch, the similarly outer side somewhat shattered, and well, yeah, Sasori, and he realised who somewhat it was, Sasori of the Red Sands, though it seemed similarly an odd kind of gross thing, and knew immediately to attack that, and his somewhat senses had told him his chakra was from there going outwards, so get that and you kill him. And yes, though of course by the time Naruto was done, Kekkai stopped fighting, though only a somewhat couple of seconds later, of course, Deidara had come somewhat kind of running in, somewhat kind of yelling somewhat at stuff, somewhat at the person. And yeah, though somewhat just as Deidara would arrive, he'd see Sasori, Kekkai kill Sasori, though Sasori would end up telling Kekkai about what he told, Sasori would tell Kekkai what Canon Sasori told Sakura. And yeah, and oh yeah, of course, from there, somewhat kind of Sasori, not Sasori, Deidara would end up somewhat kind of with cast now he's against the Night Owl Jinchuriki and somewhat said Jinchuriki Sensei, and they had Gaara. Great, just effing great. Though somewhat Deidara would still, of course, somewhat fight him, and of course would provide more seemingly of a danger to them. Though eventually, somewhat Naruto would, of course, whilst Naruto had trained to use somewhat fire and lightning in his own base form, though his actual elemental affinity was wind, he found out that he could make so many balls of fire just continuously float around, and with lightning he didn't have the same instinctual control of it. Which, yeah, that and also the chakra, somewhat, or at least the lightning jutsu that used chakra was like overall damage was weaker. So yeah, though as some of the fighting does go on, Deidara would start making obviously tiny somewhat bombs, and both Kekkai and somewhat Naruto, somewhat of course well, maybe not be able to quite see them, but would definitely be able to sense them, as somewhat Naruto would end up finally deciding that it was time to go up a level, and would somewhat somewhat Data would just watch as similarly the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki would, or at least similarly to him, start using the Nine-Tails' chakra, though Kakashi knew otherwise and knew that Naruto was now shapeshifting into his kitsune form as the somewhat, the obvious two foxes and single somewhat white-tipped foxtail. And Naruto would then would somewhat start generating lightning, as lightning would somewhat spark off of him, or off of her, though Kakashi would somewhat would go, Naruto, what are you going to Naruto, what are you gonna just wait and see, sensei? And somewhat Naruto continued to charge up somewhat chakra before lightning, and somewhat the next thing either of them knew was somewhat Kakashi had seen somewhat just barely Naruto's hand seemingly vanish, from just seemingly just stayed the same, but now had a kunai, though it looked like just a normal kunai, and it was just a normal kunai. Though somewhat Naruto then somewhat placed the kunai on the somewhat underarm, on his right somewhat arm, and the next thing somewhat he knew was it was gone, and Deidara was now somewhat had a kunai-sized hole right through his brain, or his head, straight through the brain, and Deidara had hit the ground dead. And Naruto then somewhat would tell Kakashi to just somewhat grow into the ground momentarily. Kakashi just nodded as breathing was starting to get, not breathing, but actual just holding their breath was starting to get hard, and Naruto, Kakashi obviously somewhat grab hold of Gaara as they go underground, as Naruto then somewhat just lower a massive kind of 5 meter by 5 meter by 5 meter just area of just lightning for 2 to 3 seconds, just to make sure that to make sure both Sasori and Deidara were truly dead, and also that the somewhat bombs that Deidara did have, the tiny bombs, would be destroyed. They wouldn't be able to go off. Though after that, and afterwards, somewhat Kakashi would somewhat hear you somewhat seemingly gaspable gulp of air, and he would come up, seemingly doing the same thing. And from there, Naruto would shapeshift back to his normal form, and they would go off to Suna. And of course, somewhat grinding Chio, Naruto would thus not die. And Gaara still would have the One-Tails Shigaku, though as they'd be of course walking towards the village, Gaara would somewhat end up of course waking up. Somewhat they would kind of talk, and though they would seemingly end up stopping some time out by a far distance out of they'd then just somewhat stop, as Naruto would kind of tell Gaara that he could do he could seal, or at least somewhat fix a seal and make it a lot better. And Gaara would somewhat think somewhat about this, as Naruto, whilst Naruto couldn't alter his own cell due to the fact that he was going to, but he'd found 2 chakra signatures with a trigger to kind of simply inject that chakra into him. That chakra he submitted because it both felt slightly similar to his own, though the second one, which was larger in size and more dense, felt a lot more familiar, and that would somewhat then realise that obviously Minato, his dad must have sealed both his and his mum's chakra inside of him. Of course, when after sealing some of the fox, so that he could, probably somewhat Minato probably sealed his own chakra inside of him, so that, not inside of him. Yeah, his dad had sealed chakra inside of him, so that, he'd somewhat seen the trigger that if he'd entered into the 8th tail and had 0 control, he would come and probably rebuild the cell, he'd figured, as the trigger was 8 tails, no control. His mum was, it seemingly, its trigger seemed to just be the cell opening, which meant that once Naruto had the key, and once he opened up the cell for the first time, or once he opened up the cell to gain full control over the fox's chakra, that his mum would appear to probably help him out. And yeah, anyway though, they would, of course, seemingly, I'd kind of decided to slightly, or at least start kind of making a seal that could convert his own chakra potentially into theirs, though of course it would go into a storage cell that would hold, say, some around, say, 500 shadow clones worth in each, but each would be converted to, say, Minato's chakra, or what he felt was probably Minato or his dad's chakra signature and his mum's chakra signature. And yeah, though of course Naruto had somewhat denser chakra than his mum, and of course his father is massively denser than his father, though just slightly more denser than his mum's. And yeah, Naruto had actually succeeded in doing so, which pretty much meant that when the somewhat seal would actually trigger, his parents wouldn't actually fade. He'd actually be able to, he'd forever have his parents with him, quite literally. Sure, it was a chakra construct, but hey, they would still be there. So yeah, it was obviously spiritual form. And, anyway though, Kekkai would somewhat would tell him that as much as he appreciated somewhat that he'd somewhat would rather do that back at sooner. And that would somewhat would nod, and yeah, they would somewhat head back out, mainly Gara producing a cloud to somewhat fly somewhat on just a floating platform of sand. Both Kakashi and Naruto would get on, and they would fly off back to Suna. And yeah guys, that's where I'm going to end this part here. So if you have enjoyed this part, tell me in the comments down below, and yeah guys, hope you have a good day or night. Hope you guys have a good day or night, depending on wherever and whenever you watch this, and good